I would have.
Never sleep again.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but nothing will ever kill me.
Love it. I love it.
Yay for our new intro.
Yes. How y'all like that intro? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So we are back, y'all. We have been gone for so long. Why? Because your girl right here had foot surgery. Yes, you know what? Can you look? Can you see?
I don't think they can
Can you
see.
it?
No.
Oh shit. Yes, foot surgery. Foot surgery. I am still healing, but I am here. It's your girl Portia.
And Karina. My voice is gone today, so I probably sound like a 50-year-old man.
Girl, you sound good. You sound good. You sound all right.
Sound
You sound all right. But I miss y'all. We missed y'all. We got so much to talk about. I don't even know. I think our last episode was going to be our spring break episode. We were going to talk about spring break movies. But you know, we always start the podcast off with what did you watch last?
Oh my God. You should go for it. Because I have a lot to say about what I watched last.
Because I've been on the couch for 2.5 weeks. I watched a lot of shit. But I just really just remembered what I just watched yesterday. So first off, one of the things I watched while I was on the couch healing for 2.5 weeks, I watched a series. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Evil.
Is it on Netflix?
It was on Apple TV. But I think you can find it like on I don't even know if it's on Netflix, but I think you can find it. I think it was originally on.
Does it have like a white female lead with a black detective cop?
The priest, the
or
black
something?
priest.
Yeah, I think it was on Netflix. I think I've seen a preview of it with a little boy in a room or something.
On Apple TV. So what it is, it's a series where there is this gonna sound like a joke. It's a priest, a psychiatrist, and a technician. And what they're doing is they're investigating these, I don't even know what you want to call it, but they're trying to investigate whether or not these people are either possessed or have had some type of paranormal experience. They're trying to use scientific studies along with religious beliefs to see if it's any truth behind this.
You know what that kind of gives me? Like a movie. I can't remember. I know this movie had like Hilary Swank in it. And she went to like this small town where they thought like the rapturing was the reaping.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that kind of reminds me of.
I did see it. But this is so good because it kind of makes you question it yourself because it's mixing science and religion. And then they have these weird flashbacks of, I guess it's supposed to be this like demonic entity that is messing with the psychiatrist. Because she's an atheist. She doesn't believe any of this.
That's just like the same plot as a reaping. I swear.
As it goes further and further, and they're doing these like exorcisms and out-of-body experiences, she's kind of like, wait a second, kind of have a second thoughts. I think it's like 12 episodes, but it left me like when it ended, I was like, no.
Oh, so you're already done with it.
I finished it in 2 days. Because I had nothing else to do.
Okay.
So I finished it in 2 days. It was, y'all, it's so good. It's got like, it's not cheesy at all. It really makes you like be like, oh wow, you know, like how they have the acting and everything. It's really good.
So how many seasons is it? Just one?
It's one season. I was kind of
hate
pissed.
that.
I really wish I would have picked something with 2 or 3 seasons since I just had so much time on my hands. But it's one season. I don't know when they're planning a season 2. If there's going to be a season 2, I don't know. But it was good. I liked it. And then I watched this movie. I guess it kind of deals in with like a spring break type of whatever. But
Okay.
it's on Hulu. It's called The Beach House. And this movie, so the guy and the girl are taking a trip to his parents' house on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
As they're driving to the house, it kind of looks isolated, like all these beautiful, huge houses, but there are no people.
Okay.
And he's taking his girlfriend here for the first time for some alone time to rekindle, get their relationship, back on track because it was kind of rocky.
Yeah.
And so they
all
get
relationships need that sometimes.
They do.
I feel like.
They get to the house, beautiful home, but as she's walking through the house, she's noticing things that look like maybe somebody lived there.
Okay.
She noticed medication bottles in the bathroom.
Airbnb, maybe.
She noticed like half-eaten toast on the kitchen counter, coffee cups, and then all of a sudden this woman comes in the house. And lo and behold, the woman and her husband are friends with the boy's father.
What boy?
The girlfriend's boyfriend.
Okay.
But because he doesn't have a good relationship with his father, he never told his father that he was coming to stay at the beach house. So they just all end up in this house together.
Okay.
But then weird things happen to the older couple. They all pass out in the middle of the night and they wake up and there's like fog.
Okay.
This eerie fog. And it kind of took me back to the movie, the Mist.
The Mist,
it kind of took me back there. There's like this eerie fog.
Okay.
So she runs outside looking for people because everybody is missing. And she gets bit by some like water squid or something that like comes out of the water. And let me tell you, it was so gross because her skin was like falling apart and the thing was like sliding underneath her skin and you can see her skin like rising because this thing is like crawling in her skin. So she takes like butcher knife, cuts this thing out of her leg, pulls it out. So here she is dragging her body on the floor. And I felt for her because with my foot surgery, I felt like that would have been me because I couldn't do nothing with my right foot at that time. She was dragging herself through the house trying to find people. The fog was turning these people into like, I don't even know what you want to call it. They were eating people. It was turning them into like zombie-like type of monsters, and they were like eating people. That's why when they arrived at the beach house, there was nobody. It was isolated because they were all freaking zombies. And
what the heck?
It was so weird.
Were the graphics good?
Yes.
Okay.
So
maybe I'll have to check this out.
movie was like a mixture of The Mist meets Body Snatchers meets Walking Dead. It was like a mixture of like all of that. I thought it was really good. Yay, Hulu on that one. You did a good job. They did. And then I got one more.
Okay.
From Hulu still. I watched this one yesterday. This one was called Shortcut. Have you seen that on Hulu?
No, I haven't really been watching like stuff on Hulu. Like, no, I've been watching stuff on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Well, y'all know I love me some doggone Hulu because they've been coming through. So this movie, Shortcut, kind of reminded me of what's that one you like? I can't think of it off the top of my head. But the monster and the kids on the bus.
Oh, Jeepers.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
this
like the monster with the kids.
This one kind of reminds me of Jeepers Creepers. These kids, I think they were in the UK because they had that accent.
Okay.
So it starts off with these high school kids on a school bus who they're going on a trip. I don't know. They're going somewhere. I don't know where they're going. And they've got the one, badass kid on the bus, the smarty pants, and then the shy boy who likes this girl. You're typical.
Right.
All on the school bus with a black bus driver. So I'm like, oh, please don't kill him off first. Y'all know how.
Okay, it was a man. Okay.
It was a man. So they're driving, going wherever they're going on this isolated road through the forest. And all of a sudden, there's a tree that fell over in the road, so he couldn't go forward. So what does he do? Y'all know what he did, y'all. He turned off into some extra road. Now you know,
Like what my dad did that one
you ain't
time.
supposed to take the turn off. Like, dude, you know. So he takes the turn off and gets stopped by a dead deer in the middle of the road. He gets out of the bus to grab this deer to pull it off. And then here
No.
comes this man that people are looking for that was murdering people, who was hiding in the woods, hijacks the bus.
What?
Tells them, come on, drive. You need to take me somewhere. They end up in a tunnel. Bus shuts off because the bus stopped running. Something was wrong with the motor. So as they're all in this bus,
Typical.
stuck, they start hearing noises. And I'm like, okay, here it comes. So who gets off to investigate? The black man.
So does he get killed first?
He gets off of the bus to go. No, this is what killed me. The white dude had the gun, but he was
Scary.
holding
Like,
a girl hostage. He makes the black man go. I would have been like, can I have your gun? Can I have your gun? So he's going to investigate with no weapon. And here's the man back here holding somebody hostage with a gun. So it's like we never really saw what the thing was until like maybe 10 seconds after a kill. So they're being tormented by
a squid monster.
it looked like some type of like alien-like monster that lives in the dark because only their flashlights kept this thing away. It like stayed in the dark and like would not come into the light. So it was like tormenting them. So they ended up getting off the bus because they couldn't stay on the bus the whole movie. What kind of movie
I
is that?
would have.
So they get off the bus and
I'm not getting off the bus.
they end up like running into a cave, I guess, where these things live. So they're trying to like
wait. So why would you leave the bus to go run into a cave?
a dark ass cave.
No, that's not happening.
A dark ass cave. So they're in this cave trying to like figure out what are these things. Of course, here I am on the couch. Don't go in. What are you doing? And like just yelling at these kids doing stupid stuff. But when the movie ended, I was like, that's how you're gonna end. So it was like it started off like okay, then it got good, and then it got like stupid. But then I was committed. So I kept watching it, but I didn't like the ending. But if I had out of these two Hulu movies, I would say The Beach House to me was better than Shortcut.
Okay.
But Hulu has been coming through for me with the horror movies. I mean, I'll give it that.
They are. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I've tried with the Hulu movies. I just don't like them.
I think it has to be a Hulu exclusive. Because if it's a Hulu exclusive, I think it's a little better than just a movie on Hulu.
I feel like this movie I just watched was a Hulu exclusive, and I'm like,
and it was still bad?
Yes.
Okay, so what is it?
Okay, so I was trying to find, because I had watched like my like spring break movies. I literally went home after our last show and started watching them. So I rewatched The New Wrong Turn, which I really like it. I really like how they switch it up or whatever. And I think I already talked about it like enough, but I rewatched that. Then I watched let me see here. Well, the newest one I watched this morning, I mean not this morning, but like an hour before I came here, was on Hulu. I feel like it was a Hulu exclusive. Okay. It was called Pure.
Okay.
And so what got me to watch it was the cover art. Like, okay. And then I also read like the synopsis. It was like these girls are going on a retreat with their fathers to do some ritual. So I was like, okay.
Oh, I think I did read that, but I didn't watch it.
This movie to me had I will say it did do a couple good things for me. So the plot basically is these girls are like, I would say like maybe like 16, 17. They're going on a retreat with their fathers, like a purity retreat. Okay. So the main character is this mixed girl who just discovered that this white man's her dad. Her mother just died. Okay. So he actually stepped up and is trying to get to know her. But I'm sorry if I don't know you, like if I was in that situation where I didn't know my dad my whole life and then he just comes out of nowhere like
and go on a trip.
right, hey, come with me on this chastity retreat. Like, first of all, Dad, how do you even know I'm a
So who's the other girl? Her
the
sister?
other girl's her sister. So
From-
half sister.
Oh, okay.
So
From there.
he was married.
Okay.
I guess he had cheated and went and got him some chocolate because the daughter was mixed, like curly hair, like you
Okay.
know.
Okay. So they're sisters. Okay.
Yeah, so her sister's white. Dad is white as can be. Like, I'm like, what is that? So you know they're going on this retreat, and the whole time, like, you meet the pastor. The pastor's just really cringy. Like, I'm like, what the fuck are they doing on this retreat? Are they? Because I'm seeing wedding dresses. Like there's a wall. Like it's just all these girls with their dads, and the relationships just seem too.
Was it like cultish?
No, it was like incestish. Like, what's going on here? Like, are these bitches about to marry their dads? Because I'm seeing wedding dresses. I'm seeing veils, and I'm seeing pictures on the wall of the girls with their dad. They said that they do this every year, and they have to sign a contract. And like, it was a scene where the dad like damn near proposed to the daughter and gave her a ring. Like, if I put this ring on your finger, I want you to vow to stay true. And then he's like, at the ceremony tomorrow, I wear your hair up. I like it when you wear your hair up. I'm like,
you was committed.
Because I'm like, what is going on? So I guess so basically what happened is these girls are gonna go do this ritual. Like when you see the part with the cringy pastor where he's like, you know, giving a speech about purity and all this stuff, and then there's these cringy like window, like, you know how churches have those
stained glass windows.
Yes, he's like, there's these cringy pictures, like stained glass windows behind him that like aren't hung yet or something. So he's saying like how he just got these pictures made, and it's telling the story of the first woman before Eve that came, named Lilith. And if you watch things, Lilith is a character that comes up in all kinds of stuff.
She's in almost like every horror movie,
like especially vampires.
Yes. Oh, so is this going down?
No, that's where I'm like, as soon as I heard Lilith, I'm like, okay, so we going down. Okay, I remember Lilith in True Blood.
Vampires,
right? So I'm like, okay, maybe, you know, but basically they were saying like Lilith was the first wife of Adam. Adam didn't like her because she was like, bitch, I don't care. I'm gonna be me. Like, I'm not gonna be this like virtuous, you know, submissive woman. And so Adam didn't like her. So basically Adam, they tried to say she slept with an angel. So God came down and cast her to hell, and Lilith wasn't right, and she's a demon and blah, blah, blah. And then Eve was made from the, you know, like it was just really like religious. And I'm like, okay, so we this is a cult, like you said.
Oh, it was going all over the place.
Yes. So it was just going all over the place. And I enjoyed the cringiness because the movie made me feel uncomfortable. Like, first of all, I would not go on a retreat like this with my father. Like,
especially when it looked like they trying to marry their dad.
Right. Because it was a scene where they were taking like pictures, and they had like wedding dresses on with like little flowers, and they're showing off their ring. And I'm like, ugh.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that took some commitment.
Yes, but it didn't end good. Like, Lilith basically possessed one of the girls and killed all the dads. And I'm like, oh, spoiler alert. I mean, I don't really think this movie is worth watching. The acting was kind of terrible to me. It wasn't enough gore.
I don't know where they be getting these actors from.
It had
these
the
Hulu
right,
movies.
Right, fresh off the press, because the dad and the pastor did a pretty good job, like, because they were just cringy. I was just like it was some scenes where they would come get a girl and they would disappear with the girl, and the girl's coming back walking funny and doing this. So I'm like, what is going on? But it never went there.
Okay.
It never.
Okay.
That's why I was like,
That is, I know, like, speaking of cringe, I tried to watch a couple of movies on these, like, off apps. I don't even know the name of these apps, but they were horror movies. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give this a try. But I couldn't even, like, get past the first, like, 5 minutes because they already having sex. They got titties and everything. I'm like, dude, what's happening here? Like,
This movie had none of that.
okay.
It had one little sex scene where, so this is my thing too. So the girl's sister in the movie, she basically has her first time on the retreat with first of all, these guys just came out of nowhere. They're like, they did the ritual to bring Lilith, summon her, and the guys participated in the ritual, but then it was just like, what
are they trying to, okay, so the movie is called Pure. What are they are the girls bad? Like, what are they?
No, they're just getting them to sign these contracts that they're gonna let their father lead them, and they're gonna save it until marriage. And
so it's like kind of like their virginity.
Yeah, like so then at the end, all the girls come out and say, "I'm not a virgin. I can't sign this." And I'm like, why did y'all waste y'all daddy's time to go to this purity? Like, I
wouldn't got killed.
I would have been told him, like, Dad, I'm not a virgin. I'm sorry, because the dads in the movie were cringy. Like, one dad wanted his daughter to, like, he's like, you didn't wear that dress to the pictures. Is it still too snug? Like, he's like, you need to go run 2 miles and eat. Like,
almost anything that sounds like some weird purity retreat and it looks off, it's not gonna be right.
I thought it was gonna be like, I like cringy shit. I like gutter, nasty, incest. I like cannibalism. I like it all.
Some of this shit be like for real,
like, but
stuff like this be like really happening. Like,
they tease
in real
me.
life.
They tease me because I'm thinking I'm about to see like a. I didn't want to see nothing like with no daddy and daughter shit. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, but they could have. They were implying that something was happening, but it was like,
they
okay,
probably didn't even want to take it that far.
I guess it left too many unanswered questions. Like, okay, what the hell were they doing when they were pulling these girls in these private meetings with like 3 men, and they're
and why did she get possessed? See, now I got questions.
See, but I want movies that go there. I want you to go there. Like, go there.
Yeah, I've watched some movies.
If you're gonna imply it, go there.
I was like, whoa, yeah, I've seen,
because you can do something. You can do scenes with that kind of stuff without going too far.
Yeah,
I think that movie, even Gerald's Game.
I watched that.
Yeah,
and I did not like it.
I didn't like the movie, but I think how they implied that the father was molesting the daughter, they did it in a respectful way, but you were still kind of like,
but you still knew and you still felt disgusted.
Yeah,
even though but
we didn't need to see no.
Yeah,
we didn't.
Something about that movie just didn't like. I don't know.
I didn't get like the whole monster and him like getting arrested.
Yeah, I didn't understand it. But ain't that a weird Stephen King?
Yes, it's Stephen King.
You know his movies. He weird. Yes, he weird himself.
I really think Stephen King comes up with this shit like he just has a dream one night and he wakes up and he just
I gotta write it down.
Right,
and I think he don't leave anything out. However crazy he saw it in his dream is how he's gonna just write it out. So it's like that man he be having some crazy dreams. But and I did watch one more movie. Now, I love 80s movies because they are just, some of them are really good and some of them are just freaking hilarious. Yes, terrible to the point where they are hilarious. But I watched, and this movie came out in 1979 and it's called Don't Panic. And the music is like super 80s, super like, so what the movie is about is these high school kids, they're teenagers, and the boy is turning 17. So for his birthday, his surprise is playing with the Ouija board.
Oh, God.
So
we already know how I feel about Ouija board.
Right. So they blindfold him not to come up. Well, he has an alcoholic mother who's drinking herself away upstairs while he's having his birthday party. So the party ends.
The plot to Slender Man.
They kick everyone out the house because the party's done, but a few friends hide behind to do this Ouija board thing. So they blindfold him to tell him, oh, we have a surprise for you. Are you ready for your gift?
I would have been pissed.
In that stupid 70s, 80s movie genre. So they set him down, take his blindfold off, and there's this Ouija board. So he's sitting there in his windbreaker jacket and his permed hair, super 80s. And he's like, man, I told you guys I can't play with the Ouija board. I don't want to do this. You know how the acting is. And then they're like, come on. Then all of a sudden comes this girl who I guess he's supposed to have a crush on. The whole movie, her voice got on my damn nerves. She pops out and she's like, Michael, come on. Don't you want, what do you want to play the Ouija board, Michael? She talked like this the whole.
I probably would have turned it off.
The whole entire movie. So they go through him and this guy asking questions on the Ouija board. Nothing's happening. It's not moving. So, of course, all the other kids are laughing. Oh, you guys are fakes. You know, these things aren't real. Nothing's happening. You know, blah, blah, blah. Wakes the alcoholic mother up. Comes downstairs. She kicks him out. So the one kid gets pissed, pours alcohol on the Ouija board, and was like, man, this is a bunch of crap. You know, so they all leave. And I guess during the night, the Ouija board's like shaking with bad effects because it's an 80s movie. And literally it was like a stop motion film.
Really?
I'm like, what the heck? And so all of a sudden the boy's
motion film.
the boy's eyes turn red. And then all of a sudden it goes to one of his friends in the bedroom, and she's like, she wakes up out of the bed and she's like, oh no. So each kid ends up getting killed off. We don't see who's killing them until the end of the movie. So it's almost like we're the killer because it's like it's moving, and so they're getting stabbed and killed.
From your point, from the killer's point of view,
from the killer's eyes. So they're getting kills in good old 80s fashion with I saw so many errors in this movie. I can see the latex coming off the skin because it wasn't applied good. I can see. So one of the scenes, it was supposed to be this like demon coming out of the TV screen to like talk to them. I can see whatever effects they were using for the head to come out of the TV.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, come on.
Kind of like little Freddy Krueger.
Yes, but you know, I stayed committed, and then all of a sudden here comes that stupid ass music. Like it was like and I'm like,
I hate
what is this? And so they end up showing the demon, who ended up being his other friend who got possessed from the demon from the Ouija board, who was like killing everybody. So the whole thing was like, oh, we have to get this special sword.
What?
And stab him in the chest with
does the sword come with the Ouija board?
I don't even know where the fuck they got the sword
Right, that's
from.
what I'm saying. Like, what?
Like he was killing people with the sword. So they had to take the sword that the killer was killing people with to kill him with it, to release his whatever, so that the boy can like be free. And I'm like, okay. But every time somebody got killed, the boy's eyes turned red. And then after they were killed, he went back to normal. But the thing that got me was when his eyes turned red, he couldn't see. What? So when his eyes turned red, he knew he couldn't see, but he's still trying to go somewhere. And I'm like, sit your ass down. Where are you trying to go? In one scene, he even had a gun.
What?
And someone else was getting killed, and here he is trying to go down the stairs with a handgun, and he couldn't see because his eyes were red. And I'm like, what is happening? So I stayed committed. I watched the whole movie. It was dumb as hell. Super dumb. I mean, some of the 80s movies that I've watched, they are really good, but this one
Poltergeist was good.
It was good, but this one was dumb and stupid. So then after I watch 80s movies, what I like to do is I like to like look up the actors and actresses to see like what have they done since the 80s movie, right, and what are they doing now. So I pull up the girl who was Michael
with the voice.
I pull her, so and plus she had these bushy ass eyebrows.
That was a style back then, wasn't it?
It was. And I'm like, and she was the one that everybody was like, ooh, she's so beautiful. So I'm like, let me look her up and see what she's doing now. She's done a lot of movies since this movie. A few, and the movie actually was directed by it's like a Mexican movie, but they weren't speaking Spanish. They were all
What?
speaking English, but a lot of like the directors and the people behind the scenes and they were all like Mexican or from Mexico. It was produced like in Mexico, it said. So she has been doing bilingual films, like a lot of Spanish films is
Okay.
what she's been doing since there. But when they showed the pictures of like all the people from the movie, they had their current photos. So I'm
not the
like,
80s anymore.
I'm like, oh, I'm looking at the old folks' home. They was all like 60, 70 years old, wrinkled up. None of them looked like none of these kids I saw in the movie. They didn't even have a picture for the main character. I don't even know what he looked like now, but he's still living. He's been doing some like B horror movies, and
I was gonna say he works at Walmart.
yeah, he's been doing some stuff like that. Everybody else was old as hell, and I'm like, oh, okay. And none of them aged nice at all, except for a few of the ladies. One woman, she had horrible plastic surgery, messed her all the way up. But I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, that was that. You know, I don't know. 80s movies, it'd be a hit and a miss with some of those. Some of them are good and some of them are horrible. But yeah, I don't know. But as far as like the spring break movies, you know, I feel like they always have that. They're going on a trip. Well, of course, spring break, but it's always like somebody just does something stupid that's gonna cause havoc, and you know you shouldn't have been doing it for everybody else to get murdered.
Just like, okay, we were looking at that list of spring break movies. Evil Dead is a spring break movie. Like, first of all, if I'm staying in this cabin in the woods and I hear like whispering coming from the cellar downstairs, I'm leaving.
Or even see something, because the girl, she knew what she saw. Like, she knew she saw something.
Are you talking about the new one? Or are you talking about the remake?
Well, the new one came to my mind.
I like the new. That's the new. I'm thinking about the new one
but
too.
I have
but
seen the old one.
You know, with the remake, the girl was coming down from like heroin. So if she would have even, I think she tried to say something, and they were like, "No, you're not making excuses."
It off as her being drunk,
right? She was coming off of that heroin, so they were like, "No, you're gonna stay here, and we're gonna get you clean."
Right.
But then y'all hear whispering in the cellar and go down there and read. First of all,
I'm not gonna look. Why are you looking?
But this is my thing too. Then when they find the book with this like ancient cryptic language, how do they know how to read the language?
They always know, don't they? They
Right.
always know.
Because I don't even know.
Is somebody who studied it in some type of class. So, here, let me see it, and then they can translate some of the words and start reading it.
Because I don't even know how to read Spanish.
No,
so there's no way in hell I'm gonna know how to read Latin.
Definitely not. And then understand who in the hell is taking Latin anyways. Like, who's taking it? Like, why is there always that one person that's like, I speak Latin, I took Latin? There's always that one person. But then it's like, if I find some weird book that feels like skin, we think it's skin, and it's got what we think is blood.
All these cryptic pictures and
for sure, I'm not gonna
demons and zombies rising out of the ground. I'm not doing that.
Let's read it out loud.
Right. I'm about to be like, let's get the fuck up out of here. Who told it? Who found this place? First of all.
Right. But you know, if that happened, there would not be a movie. So it's always got to be something. But
then didn't you see how they tried to do Ash versus the Evil Dead? Like they took the guy from the original Evil Dead and brought him back and made a whole like series on Netflix. I've tried to watch it like so many times. I think I might go home and try to watch it.
I always start and then I always stop.
Because I'm like, what is this?
That's how I am.
It's like old man.
It's like I try to watch it and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to be committed, because I try to be committed. Once I start, I'm not gonna stop. But it's like I just can't, because it's like,
what am I watching? Why is this 50-year-old man battling evil still? Like,
should not be happening. No.
Why would you read from the book again? Why would you kick this shit up again? Like I don't know.
You already know. But yeah, I mean, if I'm going on a trip with my friends for spring break, I'm definitely gonna ask these questions. Where are we going? Is it this? Is it that? Is it this? Like, it's because they be swimming in caves.
Right.
Oh, I found this cave. You're gonna love it. It's so beautiful. It's isolated.
Right. Like the new
no.
what's that movie? Like the new 45 meter, 27 meters down or
yeah,
something.
where
With Nia Long, and they all go in that cave where they
that
told
made me so mad. Like, why are you taking your ass in this isolated cave? Nobody knows where you're going. Like,
Right.
why are you going?
I'm not going down
Why are
there.
you going here?
I'm not going in the ocean.
Especially if you're not trained scuba divers. Why are
Right.
you doing this?
I'll scuba dive in the ocean in like maybe 6 feet.
Yeah, I'm actually afraid to do that in real life
am.
because, like, I don't want to be in that water with them fish. Like,
We know more about space than we do about our own ocean.
yes,
We don't know what the hell's down there. I'm
I don't want to
good.
see no fish.
And I heard that dolphins rape people.
what?
Yes.
How in the hell?
It's some real shit. Dolphins, like they said, like 12 people a year get killed from dolphin rapings.
What the fuck? Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look that up. I don't want to come into. I'm definitely not going down there to do no shark gazing.
Right. They said that like the dolphin will like drag you down and like rape you, like gang bang you. And I'm like, I don't, because dolphins roam in dolphins are in packs. So I'm like, I'm nah.
That's some crazy.
Then that movie Sweetheart, like where that girl, that thing, like I was like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, it's some crazy stuff. I'm not. First of all, I'm not diving in no water. I'm not going to no isolated cave. I'm not playing with no game.
I'm not flying over the Bermuda Triangle.
Not doing that. I'm not saying no shit in no mirror.
No,
I'm not reading
doing that.
anything out of a book. Like,
I'm not playing with no damn Ouija boards.
not doing any of it for thrills. Like, no, like, and then there's always, y'all can call me a pussy, I don't care, because that's like in this movie Don't Panic, when the boy was like, oh, y'all know I don't play with Ouija boards.
I would have went upstairs.
It was like, oh,
sleepovers over.
Are you a punk? Like,
Yes.
know, like, don't get punked into doing
I'm
this.
not doing no.
Like if you make them do it.
Just like my new coworkers at work, I guess they have like medium parties, and I'm like, no.
Medium? What the hell is a medium
Like when
party?
somebody comes and talks to you and tells you your dead relatives here, and they want you to, like, I don't know, like, people would be like, oh, your father's here right now. He wants you to pursue.
So the same group of women.
No, I guess there's this medium that they know that comes, and they all sit at a table, and she tells them like who's here visiting them, and
now,
wants them to stay strong. I don't know.
Cards read. Now I think
I would do that.
I think that's a little different from mediums.
Yeah, no.
Only because I don't know who
Mediums, basically, they're the medium person.
I don't know who's coming through to talk to you to give me a message.
Right, they're the middleman between you and the spirit world.
I don't like only because I feel like I have such a high energy for things like that.
Yeah,
I don't want the wrong thing to try to come through and
possess me.
So I'm like, no, thank you. But I did have my cards read, and let me tell you, that shit blew my mind. It blew my mind.
Maybe
like,
I'll do that.
I literally had goosebumps. The hair was like rising on my arms, and I literally had goosebumps. Like, everything that was being said was nothing was a lie. Like, nothing was a lie. Like, she gave me everything, and I was like, wow. Like, not that I didn't, but I never not believed in things like that, but I guess it took me actually like having it done.
I think Miss Cleo ruined that for me.
She did for a lot of people.
Call me now for your
with her fake ass.
reading.
Like,
I remember seeing those commercials when I was a kid.
She really did ruin it for a lot of people who thought like things like that were fake.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, I guess you kind of have to have like a little belief in that to, I guess, believe it. I don't know if it, and I'm not gonna say, oh, because I believed in it, I wanted this to be true. Like, I didn't tell her anything.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't know any of this, like anything that was going on with me or in my mind or my thoughts.
Give me her number.
Yes, and she is actually located right here in Milwaukee. Her Facebook page is the Mystic Gardens. I got to make sure I throw that out there. The Mystic Gardens on Facebook. And she read my cards and she took me to a whole nother world because I was like, oh my God. After that reading, I felt so refreshed. I felt like, I don't know, like I felt like cleansed. It was just some weird feeling. But day by day since the reading, I've been trying to like take what.
Was this recently?
It was recently, right before my foot surgery. About a few weeks before my foot surgery, I had this reading done because I've just been contemplating a lot of like personal thoughts between like where do I want to go as far as like work, relationships, family, like things like that. And I was like, you know what, I have unanswered questions. So I'm like, this is the time. So I went ahead, reached out, had the cards read, and I was blown away. Like she's the real deal. Like if y'all want your cards read, if y'all want to if y'all have any unanswered questions, if y'all are just like seeking answers to anything, relationships, friends, family, work, career paths, reach out to her because she is the real deal. Like no bullshit. Real deal for real. And I was like, I had goosebumps for like 20 minutes afterwards. I was in shock. I was crying. I was like, man, like I had all these emotions, but that's that I will do again. But I'm not speaking to a medium. Not that I wouldn't like want to talk to someone that I love I
think for me, I wouldn't speak to him. I don't know if I would speak to a medium because if you lying to me, I'm gonna be really fucking pissed off.
See, and that's the thing. Like, don't play with my emotions.
Play with my
don't try to tell me that
Don't go like because I feel like
said this.
I feel like a medium could go on your Facebook and like research and see. Okay, so like, oh, so and so died recently, so this person's grieving. Like, or read your statuses. Like, this person's not in a good place.
They always start off by saying. They don't say who, but they always start off by saying, oh, someone close to you has passed away. Well, shit, that's everybody. Yes, somebody close to me has passed away. They always start.
Or they can always do like your grandfather. Yeah. Like, okay,
everybody got a grandfather who done passed away. So it's like.
Probably a couple.
No, I need you to be like a little bit more specific. So it's like, but yeah, mediums in the Ouija board, y'all can have yourselves Merry Little Christmas because I am not doing that. But you can read my cards all day. But I don't know, I was kind of like, every flip and every shake of the deck, she would say, asking the spirits. But I'm like, I don't know if it was like, I don't know, something with spirits just get
I don't play with that.
It just gets me kind of like, but my youngest daughter, she was not having it because she was like, see, now you done brought something home. She was like, why you messing with that stuff? You done brought something home. But I'm like, what?
Okay, so something funny that happened, like I had told my boyfriend that I had wanted to go I wanted to go on like one of those haunted tours where they take you to like those haunted places.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think it was like like my friends, my ex-boss, who's my friend, her parents go on like these like haunted excavations or whatever.
Is so
they'll travel all around the US.
Okay.
And they'll take their little ghost hunting equipment and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, that sounds fun. And she was like, yeah, they want me to go. I said, girl, well, I'll go with you if you go with them. So I came home and told my boyfriend about it. And he was like, no, absolutely not. He was like, because yo ass will probably get possessed and come back with something. And
because almost everybody that do, it feels like you brought something with you. Cause I've been watching that like all week. Ghost Hunters and on the Travel Channel. Mm-hmm. I've been watching it like all week and investigating shit. A part of me do want to do it, but a part of me is like, I don't want to bring that home.
He was like, look, if you come in that door, he was like, and Titus get to barking, like, just keep barking at you, I'm going to know it's not you. And he was like,
because them animals be seeing shit. Let me tell you. So my cat has been looking at something on the stairs for months.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell she's looking at, but she'll be minding her own business and we'll just be chilling in the house. Like, and then all of a sudden she'll just it's like something caught her attention and she'll just look. And then she'll be like in a gaze. So then I come behind her and I'm like, the fuck you looking at, Fiona?
Right.
And I'm looking with her like, what is you looking at? And it's like, she just be like staring.
You
like,
better sage them stairs.
that should be scaring the hell. And she only does it there. Like, she doesn't stare anywhere else. It's just right there on the stairs. She just be staring. And I'm like, what are you looking at? And it's like, I'll be sitting there looking with her like, I don't see nothing. And so it's just like, it creeps me out because they say animals and babies can sense spirits and can, see things that we can't see with our naked eye. And so I'm like, because my grandson came over, well, he always looking at stuff. He just be looking and smiling, and I'm like, what you smiling at?
Right.
So it's like, babies and animals just be seeing stuff, but if they can talk, I think they would tell us.
Right. There's a demon behind you.
But Fiona, my cat, she has been laying on me for these whole 2.5 weeks that I've been at home. She will not,
because she knows you're
she will
hurt.
Not leave my side. And then it was funny.
Animals know. They know when you're
my
hurt.
My youngest daughter tried to fake like she hurt herself so Fiona can go with her. And she was not having it. So I'm like, man, leave me alone. I need my space. But I really want to know what she's looking at on those stairs. I don't. A part of me is like, I don't know. It's weird because sometimes when I'm in my room, you know how you can sense that something else is with you? I turn around to the stairs, the same stairs that she be staring at. And I'm like, but nobody's there. So I'm like, and now I don't know if it's me, but every single time. Okay, so I've been in my apartment now going on 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the last place I was at, I was there for about 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I move, or every time I go look at a house, I think I'm the only person who will ask the realtor, has anybody died here?
Oh.
I seriously asked that, the last time I asked that question.
They have to tell you,
the landlord looked at me like I lost my goddamn mind. So we walking around, we looking, and I really liked it. Not the place I'm in now.
Right.
But it was a place before this. And when I'm walking around, I'm checking, to make sure it's got, a nice sized bathroom, things with the kitchen. I really liked it. So she's like, oh, do you have any questions? So I looked at her. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I know this is going to sound weird. And she's like, oh, nothing's weird. And I looked at her and I said, do you know if anybody's actually died here? And she paused and we were staring at each other. And she's like, died? And I said, yeah,
yes.
Do you, has there been any, murders or killings, or has an old person passed away? I'm, asking all this stuff, and she's like, she's like, I'm not quite sure. She's like, I don't know how I can get out that information.
Y'all should have something on file or
something. I look at her, and I'm like, so you're showing these units and you don't know if anybody has died here. And she's like, no, I'm sorry. No one's ever asked that question before. So I was like, okay, so I'm sorry, but I am not going to move nowhere and move my kids somewhere that someone has either been murdered or died or whatever, because I believe in that spirit shit. So I'm not trying to be haunted and have nothing talking to me. So if you don't know, yes, talking girl. So I'm just like, no, not having it. So I honestly think I'm the only person who asked that question when
I don't think I've asked that
when I'm moving.
When I lived in Virginia, I did. Okay, so 2 things. It was like a graveyard, right next to the apartment complex, and I felt kind of weird about that. I'm like, and it was in the middle of the complex,
oh, so the complex was built around the cemetery?
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
Oh, so you already know.
Right. So I was at night when I lived, because I lived by myself in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always by myself. So I would run in the house at nighttime. I'd be scared, because a lot of, I think I talked about this last time, but a lot of Black women are going missing in the Virginia, Washington area. So that's why I was like, I got to get the hell up out of here. and I'm single too. So yeah. And then my neighbor that lived directly downstairs from me passed away while I lived there.
What? Were they old?
Yeah, she was this really old sweet lady. Like she used to wave at me every morning when I would leave for work. And then
That is
like
crazy.
yes.
Did anything weird happen after she died?
No.
Like that you noticed?
No, I think she was just a really sweet person. Like she lived her life and she just passed on. Like I don't think her spirit stayed there. I didn't feel nothing after she passed.
That's crazy. Come to think of it, like, so I'm in this group on Facebook. It's a Goodwill fanatics group. I know. I love the Goodwill. So like people just like post pictures of like their Goodwill finds and great stuff. And it's a nice community. Like everybody is just nice and friendly and complimenting each other on their pictures and things like that. Well, this woman posted a picture of this really beautiful suit coat that she found from the Goodwill.
Did a dead person own it?
So this is what she said. It said in her post. So she posted a picture of herself in this suit coat, really beautiful. And then next to the picture of her was another picture of a Post-it note that was pinned. And on the Post-it note, it said, "Please bury me in this coat." It was what she found.
Oh, hell no.
In the suit coat.
I'm not. No.
So, of course, the comment section was going crazy because everybody was commenting. Oh, well, it was like a mixture.
I have a haunted suit coat.
Some people were saying, "Oh, poor woman, she didn't get her wish," and then you had the people that was like, "Oh, I would have took that coat back."
Right back.
So I jumped in the comments and I was like, because I believe in the paranormal, I wouldn't have kept the coat because if that dying woman's last wish was to be buried in that coat,
come back and haunt your ass and be pissed.
She's gonna come back looking for her spirit is gonna be looking for where's my suit coat. So I'm just like, no,
nah, I'm good.
I would have took it back. So
I don't care. It could have been a Gucci down coat. I would have took it back. Like, nah.
So I wouldn't even have purchased it. I mean, I don't know if she saw the Post-it note before or after she bought the coat.
You know what's funny is, what if somebody what if this is the whole story of how the note got in there? What if somebody really wanted the coat, but they didn't have the money that day, so they
to scare somebody and think the coat was on it.
I think I'm gonna do that next time. Like if I really want something,
crazy.
Like if I go see a car or something that I really wanted, I'm gonna put a note like that in the glove compartment.
Because if you think about it, if you really wanted to be buried in the coat, why do you have the note pinned in the jacket? Can't nobody even see it.
Right.
So, yeah. So now I'm like, is it real or isn't it real? But yeah, the note said, "Please bury me in this suit coat." So
who's me? Did the person sign it?
There was no signature. All it said was, "Please
P.S.
Please bury me in this suit coat."
P.S. Get it clean first. Like, what?
So I was like, oh, poor lady. Like, we don't even know who she was. So it's sad.
They bogus. Whoever in her family sent it to the Goodwill is bogus as hell. Because first of all, I know
they probably.
Before you take stuff to the Goodwill, you check the pockets and stuff for money.
Or somebody, I actually found a purse at the Goodwill that had a whole bunch of change in it. And I never even thought to count the change until I got home. I poured all the change out and it was $85.20 worth of change that I found.
It must have been a damn heavy purse. They didn't clean it or
I don't even think they do check.
They said, the money came with the purse. We're gonna.
I'm an avid Goodwill shopper, and I have found that change. I found Carmex. I have found school IDs, driver's licenses. I found pictures. So I don't even.
So this is basically telling me that the Goodwill does not clean stuff.
No, they don't. That's why you have to wash everything. I mean, who wouldn't wash it anyways? But
right, but I'm just saying, they don't even check through it. Like, I could just bring them an old dirty purse with all my receipts in it.
Story in the news about that worker who found that $440,000 or whatever it was in some clothes at the Goodwill.
No.
And then her dumbass turned the shit in.
No, I'm not turning that in. I bought it.
I'm sorry, but if I find a lump sum of money, I don't care where I find the money from. I am not turning it in.
I'm honest. And I know I need to stop.
I don't have no conscience.
I
do.
Okay, I only have that kind of conscience at work. So like if I see somebody, like if I find money at my job, I turn it in because one, I feel like sometimes that's a test.
It
like,
could be.
I feel like
found
it's
money
a test.
twice at 2 separate jobs and kept that shit. The first time I was a manager at this retail store, and we was getting ready to close. We closed at 9:00, and it was like 8:40, and there were like 4 people in the store.
Mm-hmm.
So they knew he was closing soon, and I'm straightening up the racks. You know, if you have ever worked in retail,
yeah,
you go through and you straighten up the racks before you close, so you have less to do when the store closes. So I'm straightening up the racks and I'm cleaning. So as I push the close apart to straighten up the rack, I see $100 bill on the floor. So I'm real slick with my shit, right? So I slide my foot on top of it, and I keep, messing with clothes on the racks and stuff like that, and I slid that shit with me all the way to
okay,
the
now
counter.
that's different. Like
All
it was
the way
in
to the
between.
counter.
Now I'm just saying if it's just sitting out there, just left
it was
there.
underneath. So after I slid it to the counter, I'm playing the shit off like I gotta tie my shoes so I can pick the money up and put it in my pocket. So now it's like 9:05, right? It's a few people are in the store. Some of them left, some of them bought stuff. The lady comes up to the counter with all her shit, throws it on the counter, and she's getting ready to pay for her clothes. So as she's getting ready to pay, she's digging through her purse and digging. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, because I'm trying to go home. Like, it's already after 9:00. So she digging through her purse, digging through the purse. She was like, oh, man. So she gets all upset and all flustered. I'm not even thinking about the money that I just found. So I'm like, why is she getting flustered? So she yells over to the person she was with, hey, you see, I done dropped my money. You see my money? So I'm thinking to myself, oh, damn. So then she goes, ma'am, did you happen to find $100 bill? And so I'm like, the fuck? What are the chances?
Who's going to be honest about that? Like, yes, I did.
So, of course, no conscious Portia. I'm like, no, I didn't see anything. I'm like, where were you? Where would it have been? Why did the bitch go over to the rack that I found the $100 at? And she was like, I was over here somewhere. So I'm helping her find her money. We spent like 10 minutes trying to find this money that I already had in my pocket. So I'm helping her, trying to help her find her money.
I would have just told her no.
We couldn't find it. So we come back to the counter and I say, do you want me to hold your stuff for tomorrow?
And if I was her, I would have put a note in it like, I want to be buried in this.
So I'm like, I can hold it for you. We open at 9.
That's a situation where you put a note in something like that.
I was like, we open at 9:00. I could hold it for you if you want to come back in the morning and get it. So she was like, so she ended up borrowing the money from the girl she was with to buy her stuff.
I thought you were gonna say she ended up borrowing the money from the girl she was checking out with.
No, and then she bought her stuff, and the key is, I may be a bad mother, and y'all may be looking at me like, but I've told my kids, if y'all find something, don't tell nobody you found it. Just you, yourself, and you know you found it, and put it in your pocket, and just don't say anything. So I didn't tell anybody that I found this money. So I went home $100 richer. She was pissed. I mean, I helped her look for it. I did all the good things you're supposed to do when somebody can't find anything. But,
you bogus. I helped her look for it.
Come on now.
I wouldn't have helped her look for it. I just would have told her no.
I had to play along. I had to play, I played the part. I think.
And now she's, look, she's going to see this now. Like, I knew that bitch took my money.
So, I played the part, that was so many years ago. I don't even know how many years ago that was. That had to have been like, I don't know, probably like 16, 17 years ago. But yeah, that was that. But if I find some money, I'm not telling anybody. I'm not turning it in. I'm just going to, whatever. I found $20 at my current job a few years ago. And I don't tell nobody about that either. So finders keepers, losers weepers is real. So, I mean, if y'all around me and y'all lose some money, I don't know.
Just suspect her.
That's all I'm saying. I don't know, but but that's how that is. But I have karma has not yet to come and find me.
Shit,
so
I've lost some money before. I was
we've
pissed.
all lost money, but
I lost a gift card. I'm still mad about that gift card.
Who was it for?
It wasn't for any. It was just like a little Visa gift card, like for $50 that I got from work, and I don't know where it went. I'm still mad about it. Like I'm still hoping one day it just pops up. Like
That's crazy.
I was here the whole time.
That is crazy. But yeah, that's some crazy stuff. So because we were on a little hiatus because of my foot surgery, we normally do bi-weekly shows. So we're actually going to be doing an extra show next week.
And we're having a guest.
And we're gonna have a guest. I'm
Yep.
so excited, y'all. We're gonna have
a horror movie director.
Our first guest. Yes. So this is gonna be fun. So make sure y'all tune in next week. We're going to have a guest. We're going to ask him some questions about horror movies and all that jazz.
And find out what his horror movie is going to be about.
Exactly.
Do you also want to I think we talked about this last time, what we want to do for episodes, and we were thinking about doing dumb horror movies.
Yeah.
Like the one where the couch was a killer.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, we were talking about watching dumb horror movies. So we may talk about that next week, along with asking our special guests some questions about horror movies. So make sure you guys tune in next Saturday, same time, 5:00. We're gonna be on time because we'll have a guest. Right.
But
what is the guest's name?
Yeah, what's his name?
Demetrius Strong.
Demetrius Strong.
Yeah.
Did he say what kind of horror movie he was making yet, or?
He will be.
I want a guest star in it
with us. Yes. So
I want a cameo.
I'm excited. I'm excited about this. So yeah, come back and join us next Saturday, same time, same place. I miss y'all. I'm so happy to be back. Thank y'all for watching, and we will be back.
Bye.
Peace.